Hello, my dear students. Today we'll talk about the mode of registration of trade unions. The mode of registration of trade union is given in the section 4 of the Trade Union Act 1926. Section 4 talks that any 7 or more members of a trade union may, by subscribing their names to the charter of the trade unions and by otherwise and complying with the provisions of the Trade Union Act with respect to the registration, apply for registration of the trade union under this Act. Where such an application has been made for the registration of a trade union, such application shall not be deemed to have become invalid merely by reason of the fact that at any time after the date of the application, but before the registration of the trade union, some of the applicants, but not exceeding half of the total number of persons who made this application have ceased to be the members of the trade union or have given notice in writing to the registrar disassociating themselves from the application. So we can say any 7 or more members of trade unions may, by subscribing their names to the rules of the trade union, apply for the registration of the trade union under the Act. Provided that no trade union shall be registered unless at least 10% or 100 of the workmen, whichever is less, engaged or employed in the establishment or industry with which it is connected are the members of such trade union on the date of making of application of registration for the trade union. Every application, Section 5 of the Trade Union Act 1926 deals with the application part for the registration of a trade union. And every application for the registration of the trade union shall be made to the registrar. And while this application is being made to the registrar, and it should accompanied by the copy of the rules of the trade union and a statement of the certain particulars. What are those particulars? Like the names and addresses of the members, those who are making the application. The name, other one is the name of the trade union and the address of its head office. The titles, names, addresses, ages of the and the occupations of the office bearers of the trade union. So what we have to inform to the registrar? The name and the occupation and the address of the members, those who are signing the application, making the application, and the name of the trade union and the address of its head office, and the titles, names, address, the age of the members, occupations of the office bearers of the trade unions. And a registrar, on registering a trade union, once the registrar is satisfied that the information provided to him is sufficient and whatever information he wanted he has received, then he would be registering the trade union and will issue a certificate for registration in prescribed form, which shall be the conclusive evidence that the trade union has been duly registered under the Act. So once you submit your application to the registrar and registrar is satisfied that he has received all the information or you have furnished all the information to the registrar and registrar is satisfied, it would be issuing a certificate of registration in the prescribed form and which would be treated as a conclusive proof, conclusive proof that the trade union has been registered. Then under the Act, Trade Union Act 1926, the registrar of the trade union is having the powers, certain powers also. Powers like the registrar can ask for further information from the trade unions to satisfy himself that the trade unions comply with section 5 and is eligible to be registered under section. So registrar can exercise this power. The registrar can also refuse to register the trade union until he receives the required information. He may deny or he may refuse the registration of the trade union. And registrar has the power to ask to change the name of the trade union also. In case if the name of the trade union, what you have proposed for the registration, and already there is one union with the same name already exists, or if he feels that the name could be deceiving or this name could be confusing to the public or to the members of the trade union maybe, in that case, registrar is having a power that he can refuse for the registration of the trade union. So registrar has this power to ask to change the name of the trade union if the union with the same name already exists, or if he feels that the name could be deceiving or confusing to the public or to the members of the trade union. So in that case, he can just refuse for the registration. And there are certain duties also of a registered trade union. Like if the trade union is just making some sort of changes in the registered office, they are changing the registered office, address is being changed, then the registered trade union has to serve a 14 days notice to the registrar under section 12, and section 15 of the Trade Union Act also talks about the object on which the general funds may be spent, and registered trade union can also go for the constitution of funds for the political purposes. For the political purposes, they can just constitute a fund under section 16. And the proportion of the office bearers be connected with the industries. Section 22. So in that way, we find that mode, when we talk about the mode of the registration of the trade union, that any 7 or more members of trade union, they may subscribe their name to the rules of the trade union, apply for registration of trade unions under the Act. Then no trade union shall be registered unless at least 10% or 100, whichever is less. 10% or 100, whichever is less, engaged or employed in the establishment or industry with which it is connected, are the members of such trade union on the date of making of such application. And under section 5, you have to file an application, or you have to move an application, and in the prescribed format, and this application would be accompanied by the copy of the rules of the trade union and a statement of the following particulars, such as names, occupations, address of the members, the name of the trade union, the address and its head office address, the titles, name, address, age, occupations of the office bearers of the trade union. And once the registrar is satisfied, he would be registering this as a trade union and would be issuing a certificate of the registered trade union. Of course, registrar is having certain powers also. He can refuse to register with trade unions until he receives all those informations. And he is having a power, the registrar is having a power to ask to change the name of the trade union if the union is with the same name, the union already exists, or if he feels that the name could be deceiving or confusing for the public or the members of the trade union, then in that case also registrar may refuse. And there are certain duties also for the registered trade union. Say for example, they want to make some sort of changes in the registered office. They have to serve a 14-day notice to the registrar. They have to, under section 15, they have to go for the general fund spending. They can spend that money only for the objects, and constitution of fund for political purposes under section 16, and proportion of the office bearers be connected with the industry. Not less than 1/2 of the total number of office bearers of every registered trade union in an unorganized sector shall be persons actually engaged or employed in any industry with which the trade union is connected, provided that the appropriate government may, by special or general order, declare that the provisions of this section shall not apply to any trade union or class of trade unions specified in the order. And there is an explanation to that. That is, the unorganized sector means any sector which the appropriate government by notification in the official gazette is specified. And no member of the Council of Ministers or a person holding an office of profit or any other engagement. So no member of the Council of Ministers or a person holding an office of the profit. So this is about the section 22, the proportion of the office bearers be connected with the industry. So this is all about for the mode of creation of a trade union. This is what for today's lecture, the mode of registration of a trade union. Thank you so much. And I believe that this lecture will help you. Thank you so much.